Hi, Anna Carson here. I thought I would do a quick update on my tongue tie release. So I had it done on Friday. It's now Tuesday, isn't it? Kids have just gone back to school. So it's been a few days, and it's been really fascinating actually. The actual procedure it took a lot longer than I was expecting for a number of reasons. One, I actually reacted to the injected anaesthetic, so my body started twitching and I came completely I was just coming out of my body. So they were really good. They really worked with me because I just said, look, I need to stop, and they gave me about 15 minutes just to really bring myself back into my body, allow my body to stop twitching, and we just used topical anaesthetic instead of the injected one. But the specialist that had come in from the US, which was Dr. Zaghi, I think it was, he's using a cutting method, but normally they would just do one simple snip with the laser or the scissors, but what he was doing was actual individual kind of memories. He was really making sure that he was optimizing how it was released, making sure that he got everything that needed to be got. So he was very particular in what he was releasing. So it did take quite a long time. But as I said, they were great in really working with me and making sure that my body was reacting okay, that gave me plenty of time just to bring myself back into my body, doing lots of breathing and working with me with that. So after that, I hadn't really kind of fully recognised or just how exhausted I would be afterwards. I had to drive home from Sydney. I'd taken some time just having ice cream and just needed some sugar, and I couldn't really do much with my tongue at that point. So, but then I drove home and then I just went straight to bed. I was absolutely exhausted and really kind of feeling quite... I could feel my whole body just kind of going, okay, where am I? Like, what we doing? And it was interesting, after I had a sleep, I got up and I actually just caught my reflection in the window, and I could see that my shoulders have dropped. So it was already, even within a few hours, my shoulders were dropped. And it was fascinating actually, because when I was having the procedure done, there was a couple of speech and language therapists and myofunctional therapists there. And they were like, wow, like your whole neck and under here was all softening. I've always had quite, I guess, a muscular neck, or it looks quite muscular. And I've got a very, my posture means that I stick my head out for you, and this is all very much linked in with this, and linked in with TMJ and all of this tension around this area, and they were just astounded at how quickly they could see, literally as they were cutting, that it was all just relaxing. And I certainly have noticed that massively in my neck and my shoulders, just how much tension is already releasing. And that next day, on the Saturday as well, I was still exhausted. I didn't really want to speak very much. I'm just having soups and smoothies and just taking it very easy. But I could feel my whole body. I had lots of pain in my body, going down into my hips. I had for the first 2 nights, I had a huge amount of restless legs, especially in my left leg. And a lot of energy kind of pouring through, and it just felt my whole body was trying to realign itself. And it's interesting because I'm going to go to the osteo today, this afternoon, so I'll be really interested to see how he senses what's been changing, and as he kind of helps it along, I guess, just to notice how that improves it. But yeah, a lot of energy pouring through. I think on the Saturday night, I was awake. I just had huge amounts of energy, so it felt like I was opening. It felt like my body is becoming more spacious. I'd experienced this last year actually, when I had a huge kind of expansion of consciousness last year, and then it felt a very similar thing, especially on the Saturday night. I felt that I had this huge just a massive amount of energy, this a real awareness of an expansion happening within my consciousness. My whole body was vibrating, and I was just really kind of directing all of the energy through my body, allowing it to flow, allowing it to do what it needs to do, and also allowing me to release and let go. It really felt like it was a lot that was being let go at the same time as well. So that was huge, and I didn't get much much sleep last night. My body was kind of trying to manage it. So it's been huge, and it's interesting. I haven't actually had an emotional release yet, and I was expecting one, because when I was driving up to have the release done, I could feel huge amounts of tension in my body kind of rising to the surface. It was ready to kind of be let go, but I could also feel emotion really sitting very closely, to the point where I thought I actually might kind of burst into tears on the chair, but I didn't, and I actually haven't had the emotional release yet. So I'm interested to kind of, I'm just allowing my body to do as it needs to do, and whether the osteo, as he does it, allows that to happen, or it'll come in its own time, and that's fine. But I am aware that there's an emotional release that's kind of brewing, basically, and kind of ready to move through. And even, I guess, with my work, it feels like I can feel into it a lot more. I can feel into what it is that I'm wanting to create as I'm closing down Damara and starting up Anna Carson. And although obviously my work hasn't changed so much, my focus is changing, and it really feels like I'm, I guess, stepping out and being a lot more visible as me, just as Anna. And this is one of the main reasons of changing it from Damara. It felt like I was hiding away a little bit by having Damara, and Anna Carson just allows me to really kind of be seen, as who I am. So I think this is, it's also interlinked, because obviously all of this is around about expressing who we truly are, and I guess being visible, being seen for who we are. So it really feels very interlinked, and I feel very guided, as I've said before, very guided. It wasn't. My husband said that yesterday. He was just like, "You didn't take much time to make that decision about getting your tie released." And I was just like, "No, it just felt so intuitively right." Especially it was kind of, I guess it was gifted to me, but also because there was a specialist coming, and it just felt very, very guided that this was the next thing. And I guess as well, also because my daughter is needing to get hers released, she's got a tongue handlet tie, that I wanted to, I guess, experience it for myself, so I could support her as well, as much as I can through it when she goes through it. But also knowing that for me, I do learn through embodied experiences a lot more than I do through reading or anything else. I often do have to have embodied experiences, and so for me to actually have to go through this and release this in this way feels kind of perfect for me, really. So it's, like I say, I'm just watching and really interested to see how this pans out. I feel like I'm still in the very early stages of it. It's still healing. I've still got stitches in. It's still very tender. I'm having to do a lot of exercises to keep the mobility, because it healed so quickly as well. So I notice in the morning that it's my tongue is. I'm having to do the stretches first thing, because it feels like it's kind of almost started to it's not that it completely closes up, but it can regrow a little bit. So the more that you do the exercises, the less that's likely to happen. And I notice that in the morning, that I'm having to do the exercises to kind of keep that mobility and everything else. Energetically, it's been fascinating, just seeing the impact that it has on my family. My son especially is very connected to me, and so the night before he didn't sleep very well, and then the next day, like as I came home and everything, he was super clinical. In fact, before I even left, he was just like, "Don't go, Mum, don't go, I don't want you to go, I want you to say oh, hi Eliza." No, I didn't get it lasered actually. It was a specialist who who came from the US, he cuts, but he, rather than just doing one cut, he's actually doing quite a few. I don't think it's it's suitable for kids, because I was in the chair for quite a long time as they were identifying the different kind of fibers that they wanted to cut. But certainly for adults, I think this is, he was very particular about what he was releasing. And you're making sure that it was very much it was very much done within what my body needed to do. Oh, hi Ben. But yeah, as I was saying, the impact on my family. So Finlay who's my son, was really clingy, didn't want me to go. He was, and really, you could feel the kind of, I guess, he has a lot of fear about me expanding, and me kind of moving into new spaces and new kind of consciousness. And so you could feel the kind of the fear that was coming up for him. So I really had to support him in that. And a couple of days afterwards, he was very clingy, lots of meltdowns and everything like that, which is, for him, is kind of what happens, and really having to kind of call in his higher self, really, and speak to him and speak to that for him. So and even with my husband, there's been a lot coming up for him, around supporting me and everything else. And my daughter manages it a lot better. But anyway, it's been really interesting to see. So like I said, I'm interested. I feel like I'm really just at the start of this journey of just seeing how my body reacts, how it changes from an energetic point of view, and how it changes from a kind of consciousness point of view as well. So I'll keep you updated over the next few weeks as that shifts. Okay, Ben, I'll speak to you later. The other thing is that I wanted to kind of pop on and say, which is, it's all tied with this, is the fact that I'm going to be doing a closing down sale for Damara. So as you might know, I'm going to close down Damara as it is. Obviously, there's not really going to be a change in services per se, but it just feels like there's an energetic close of Damara and then a starting of Anna Carson. So I've just had a preview of my logo that Emma Nally is putting together, which is just amazing. It's incorporating so many things. I'll have to do a post on that because all the things that she's put in it's just beautiful. So I'm really excited to kind of be bringing this forward. It felt great. It feels really good to be doing that. So I'm going to now do a closing down sale. So I'll put a post up this afternoon about that. So if any of you have been looking to work with me or interested in exploring more, especially around this time in utero, which is really going to be my focus, but it's around this coming out. It's around this really connecting in with who we are, with our passion, with allowing us, like I said, to connect, to love more, to be more, all those things, and really clearing the way for that. And a lot of my work is focused on that time in utero, because I really see that as the kind of, it's almost like a blueprint, as the descent of the soul is coming through. It's coming down rather, and we start to experience physicality more through the emotions of our mother, and through whether it's vanishing twins or stuff, other things that happen in utero. It kind of sets us up. It sets up these woundings and various other things, fears and belief systems and stuff like that. It really sets it up in that period. And so that's really going to be my focus, is what can we clear out of that time in utero in those 9 months from conception through to birth. And that's including birth as well, because it's such a it is really the entrance into physicality. So if you're feeling just whether it's for yourself or for your children, that you're feeling like this is a time to really to work with me and clear this, because I know certainly for myself and a lot of people I've been talking to, with so much coming up. There's a lot about gender, there's a lot about the masculine, the feminine. You're really being called to rise and to be true to who we are. And you know, a lot of us are getting triggered by a lot of, you know, kind of old patterns. It's just like, okay, it's time to move through all of this. So yeah, so it feels great to be, you're kind of saying, right, let's do this now, and you're being able to offer you know, some discounted prices to help people to move through their own stuff in these times of huge energy. And so yeah, so I'll put a post up this afternoon. But yeah, I'd love to Eliza, I see that you're saying that, you know a few mums who've had this release, and I'd love to hear other people's kind of experiences of this, because like I say, I just feel like I'm at the beginning of my release and how that's impacting on my body. But I see that it's, it is going to be an ongoing thing over a few weeks as my body and my energy and my consciousness expand, what that allows through. So I'd love to hear other people's experiences of it, and ways that they've supported themselves as well. Do you know, I've also, like I say, I use osteo, and I know, Eliza, you said that you've been seeing a chiro, and I think that's so essential, especially on the craniosacral stuff. So anyway, great, you're wonderful. Thank you very much for listening, and I'd love to hear all your experiences and comments on this. All right.